Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today is, for you guys, Wednesday, for me Tuesday, so I'm getting this ready for tomorrow. It is Whip Wednesday, so I'm going to do a whip and chat as promised. I think it's been about 3 weeks since my last one. I can't actually remember. I know it's been a little while. Anyway, I thought I would get out this kit from One Day Saving. I've been having so much fun with it. I was on it again last night as well while watching something on telly. So yeah, it's been immensely fun. So I figured I would pull it out again today, so I haven't got to stop, count and whatever. I can just stitch and talk. As long as I follow the symbols, it's all good. Anyway, how are you guys? I hope you're all well. And I forgot to do me a juice. I've got a juice, it's over there, but forgot to bring it with me. We are all good still. What have we been up to? Not a lot. Still homeschooling the kids. Tyler hasn't decided what he wants to do. He's not sure that he wants to go to college. I think he just wants to find a job. I think. I'm trying to dissuade him. Is that the word? I want him to go to college. I want him to I want him to not end up in a factory job. You know, I've been there, I've done that. It's not nice. Every day you get up and you don't look forward to work. So I want him, whoops, I need to check that. That looks like where am I? That is a different symbol. I'm not sure now. I'm just trying to locate it on here. I've got two. Okay, I've got to take that one out. Give me 2 seconds. Sometimes you can't tell, and it's always good then to have the picture. I know it's a bit small and you have to kind of work it out. No, actually that is correct. I was looking further down, so I've just pulled my needle out for nothing. Oh, now I've got a knot. Riley, yeah. Pass my scissors please. I've just got myself a knot. I don't suffer with knots in these projects. Not usually. Any's fine, pink or black, it doesn't matter. Here's your pink scissors. Thank you. Yeah, so anyway, trying to talk Tyler out of not going to college. I know he's a worrier, Tyler, isn't he? He worries about money and everything, and he really doesn't need to, you know. So I know money is a big thing for him. So I said, okay, how about you do an apprenticeship then? That's kind of college and work at the same time, but you get paid for it, so why not? But he said he can't find one that interests him, so kind of a catch-22, because he doesn't have much longer left to apply, I don't think. So yeah, we're kind of trying to give him a nudge in the right direction. else have we been doing? Not too much, obviously, because we don't really go anywhere. But Tyler's met someone. That's the one that's not the same. Okay. Yeah, Tyler's met someone. And he went out for the first time 2 weeks ago, I think, now. He was all masked and, you know, he took all the precautions that we kind of suggested. He's a good lad, Tyler. So he spent a few hours with her in the afternoon. They're planning to meet up again some point in February. I forget the date, but bless him. I'm sorry if this keeps moving. I've kind of got it tucked in my lap, sort of, and it wants to go elsewhere. Ellie's got a paper round. She turned 13 last month. Oh no, we're in February today. December. And 13's how old you have to be to have a paper round, so ouch. She's got one, but she's not, how do I put it? She's not antisocial, but she doesn't like being around a lot of people. Whoops, pulled it out my hand. So, you know, I walk the paper round with her every morning. Gives me the exercise as well. So she's enjoying that. Riley has taken to posting snippets of Fortnite and Star Wars Battlefront on TikTok. Just little clips of his games when he's played. He's enjoying doing that. As well as his schoolwork, obviously. Schoolwork always comes first. Whoops. My stitches look so neat. I'm so impressed. But I found just going, you know, pulling it through the front and going around the back, pulling it out with the same hand, it just makes the stitches seem tidier. I don't know what the difference is. Well, I know why I know that it's different because it's a different stitch, because normally I'd push it in there and out there like that and just stay at the front, and that's what was making my stitches untidy. So I started this one just, you know, forward, back, forward, and it looks so much tidier. So I'm thinking I'm going to have to do that with all the other ones I've started as well, just to keep my stitches looking a bit more even. Can anyone believe it's the 1st of February today? I can't, honestly. I've been having regular-ish phone calls from my dad lately. He said he needed to go to the doctors, but he didn't really want to go because he knew that they were going to send him to the hospital for tests and stuff. And with everything the way it is, he just didn't want to go. He said it was due to COVID, but my dad's a stubborn man. He tells everyone else to look after themselves and, you know, call him if they need anything or whatever. Yet when it's the other way around, he's so different. we've got to look after ourselves, but he doesn't have to. Kind of, you know, he's that kind of person. Anyway, I told him, look, get it done, get in the doctors. I think he'd got an appointment for that Wednesday, because he rang me back a day or so later, I do believe. And then he said, I'll let you know what they say. So I was expecting to hear from him on Wednesday, but I got nothing. But I'm one of these more laid back people. I don't chase people, especially my family. If they want to let me know what's going on, they'll contact me. Do you know what I mean? I'm not going to chase my dad down to find out what happened at the doctors and stuff like that. So I left it, and I think it was just over a week later he finally got back to me and said, you know, I got in, they've referred me to the doctors, I had my hospital appointment, and I've been. They were suspecting angina. They suspected it a few years ago when I had a phone call from my Auntie Christine, which is his half-sister, to say, look, an ambulance has been and picked him up from work. I haven't been able to trace him since. No one seems to know where he is. He's not booked in anywhere. So I had to then chase the hospital and say, look, as far as I'm aware, he's coming in by ambulance. And eventually I got somewhere and they said, yeah, he's just come in now. Anyway, they suspected angina then, but I'm not sure what happened. I don't think he ever did say, but as it turned out, because he told me recently, it wasn't angina. But he's been having the similar symptoms lately. He's breathless, even though he's not done anything or been anywhere. I know he is what we call a mobile carer. He goes and looks after people in their own homes. And I know that can be a bit strenuous sometimes, but he says he's getting breathless even when he's not doing anything strenuous, you know. He's just preparing their meal or, you know, making him a cup of tea. But anyway, they said they're not going to rule out an angiogram. He's had one before. He said he really doesn't like it. And he really, really, really does not want to go for an MRI. He's kind of in the same boat I am as far as an MRI. Hate the tube, hate the tunnel, claustrophobic. I hated mine. I had to cover my eyes with cloth just to stop me looking at the ceiling that was right above my face. Anyway, so he said he really doesn't want to go for an MRI, but they're sending him for tests. He had, I think, an echocardiogram. I'm not a doctor, I'm guessing that's what it's called. I think that's what he said. They wanted to send him, I think, possibly both, for an ultrasound and an x-ray on his heart. And he said, can't you do it while I'm here? I'm here right now. No. You have to go back to your doctor, you have to ask your doctor to refer you, which is silly because he was at the hospital then. You know, it could have saved a bit of time for everyone, I suppose. But no, he's had to ring the doctors. The doctors have referred him. He's now got to wait, so. And apparently, not this weekend, just gone, the one before, he was rather honest with me, which is unusual for my dad. That he'd had a bit of a problem the weekend before that, and he'd been in a lot of pain for a few hours, but being the stubborn man that he is, his wife wanted to call an ambulance and he said no. Now, from when I was a kid, my dad wasn't someone you ignored. He'd just fall out with you. You know, he just wouldn't talk to you. And sometimes the silence can be awful to bear. You know, if you said no, you were in trouble. And, well, us kids anyway. But she did as she was told. She didn't ring an ambulance. And I think my brother has messaged her and said, don't listen to him. If he needs an ambulance, you ring an ambulance. Whether she will or not, I don't know. She's quite shy, not shy and quiet, but she's quiet-ish. I'm not trying to say my dad's a violent man. He's not, I promise. He's just that he can ignore you. for days, sometimes even weeks. And when you live with him, you know, and that's your dad, that's kind of hard. And that's the way he is, so, you know. Yeah, he's a stubborn man. And I know where he gets it from. His dad. Because his dad hated doctors. He hated hospitals. You know, he never wanted to be in hospital, and he hated it. Absolutely hated it when my nan got took in. Because she never came home again. And, oh, bless him. When he passed away, we, me and my sister, were tasked with going through all of his paperwork and stuff. And my granddad was a doodler. A dawdler. No, I didn't mean that. Any piece of paper he could find, he would doodle on, or he'd write on, even down to like envelopes from the post. And when me and my sister were going through his paperwork and stuff, we found this old envelope from the mail, and he'd been writing on the back. Oh my gosh, it moved me to tears. It was a letter he wrote to my nan after she passed. Just apologising for making her go with the paramedics to the hospital, because ultimately she didn't come home and she passed away in the hospital, and he felt guilty for that. Oh, it was heart-wrenching. And I've still got that letter somewhere. I couldn't bring myself to throw it out. And he just says, I hope you forgive me and we will meet again soon. Oh, it was so lovely. But he's stubborn anyway, that's my point. My dad gets it from him. But we all keep on at him, you know. I mean, he even said to me on the phone, I never thought I'd ever see the day when, you know, I was classed as an in an at-risk category because of his age. You know, like when Corona first came around and they were saying it was like bad for the over 65s, I think. And he said he never ever thought he'd see the day where he fell into a category like that. You know, well, we all age. It comes to us all in the end. But, so yeah, we're just waiting for more tests and stuff and results to see what's going on with him. And then his wife's diabetic, I believe, and she's not been looking after herself, so he's been it's kind of he's such a hypocrite, my dad is. You know, she's got to look after herself, and he moans when she doesn't, but then he doesn't look after himself, you know. Honestly, he's mellowed so much from, you know, the strict parent that he was when we were young. And he was strict, but I found out from my granddad that's because he walked all over my granddad when he was a teenager. Boy, did he. And my mum was like completely the opposite. And it's just, how on earth did they end up together? Anyway, that's enough about my parents. I need to get out my mum's cross stitch. I haven't touched it again since, I think it was last Monday. I really want to work my way across and start her head, so then it's something to look forward to, if that makes sense. So I'll do a bit on her head and then a bit on the background, and I'll keep switching it up, so it's not all the same, because the background, sorry guys, the background's going to be a little boring. Don't look too much at my back. It's not as untidy as it could be. but just don't look. Shut your eyes. Okay, let's get this next one on. I tried to be a clever clogs last night. I won't do it again. Because this is on 11 count, you have to use 3 strands, right? Now, I suppose I just got a bit impatient and I didn't want to pull each strand off individually just to get my 3 strands. So what I did, stupidly, was I separated into 3 strands each side. So I've got 3 strands in each hand, and I tried to pull them apart, not too fast, but I tried to pull them apart as 3s, and I ended up with a knot right in the middle. Oh my gosh, it took me nearly an hour to get that thing undone. I haven't done it again since. You know, you learn your lesson. So what have you guys been up to? Mine's been uneventful, so to speak. Except Ellie. Oh my gosh. She joked yesterday about her broken bone when she broke her leg. She said, was it a serious... Hang on, no. My sister asked me about it the other day as well. She said, was it a serious break? Did she break one or both bones above, like in the ankle? And I said, no, she broke both, but 2 in one and 1 in the other. So she'd got 3 fractures altogether. Anyway, Ellie was just kind of conversing with me about it, like, did I remember, you know, the pain she was in? Well, I remember her screaming and crying, so yes. She said, I'd like to break an arm, and I'm like, why? Why, seriously? Why would you want to break an arm? She said, just to see what it feels like to have my arm in a cast. Oh my God. It was bad enough having a leg in a cast. The hours that she cried at night time, that her heel was hurting, and when I took her in to have her foot checked, she got a pressure sore on her heel, and the nights that she'd spent crying herself to sleep because it was hurting, and oh my goodness, I couldn't imagine going through that again, even if it is only an arm this time. And I said to her, you won't be able to play the Xbox or go on your phone. You know, you can't do it one-handed. The only thing she'd be able to do is have the remote for the TV. You can operate that with one hand. So, but I said, no, please not again. You know, we spent 5 hours sitting in A&E waiting to be seen, to have it x-rayed, to come back, for them to say, right, okay, yes, it is broken. Now you got to go and sit and wait for the plaster room, and then the amount of appointments at the fracture clinic that we had to go to. I mean, she had the cast changed. She had the initial one put on, then she had it changed to a full-length one. Then she had that changed again to a below-the-knee one. And then she had that changed to the boot. And then they said, right, no boot, now you've got to learn to walk on it again. And I believe it was like 8 weeks. Somewhere between 8 and 10 weeks in total she was casted and booted, and yeah, I don't want to go through that again, even just for an arm. Nope. I wouldn't like to break anything on mine again. When I broke my ankle, that's the first time I'd ever broke anything. And I would not want to do that ever again, no matter where the bone is. I've done loads of... No, her break was worse than mine.
Yeah, but yours was quite bad still. Because didn't you pull...
Sorry, my fingers are tingling.
Didn't you say you pulled tendon of the bone?
Yeah. The tendon ripped off the bone and took a piece of the bone with it, is what I did. Whereas what Ellie did, it's something called a triplane fracture, which means 3 breaks.
What did Tyler do?
Tyler, he broke his arm just above his elbow.
Didn't he do something with his fingers?
Yeah, he broke his knuckle as well. But you can't really do anything for a broken knuckle.
Tyler's also broken things,
Oh So I've told him that's it now, no more. Yeah. And I've been in the hospital that many times with sprains, breaks. No, not breaks, I only broke one. Sprains. And just general accidents with me. You know. Ellie takes after me, I'm afraid. The accident prone one.
How did they mistake my arm's being broke?
Because it can be hard to tell on an x-ray sometimes. It looks like a line, but then another doctor sees it and doesn't think it is. Because the doctor he saw the second day wasn't the same one. And he said that doesn't look like a break. So he'd been in a cast overnight. Because they said he broke his arm. Took him back the next day, which is routine pretty much. You'll have it casted and then you have to go back the next day. And the doctor that saw the x-ray that day said, I don't think it's broken, and took the cast off. So
I'm glad I didn't have to be casted for that long.
And my sister, we were on about it the other day, and my sister said, none of hers have ever broken anything. I said, well, you've just jinxed it now. Because Ellie said, I never broke a bone, have I? And then 2 weeks later or so, she broke her ankle. So, you know, watch what you wish upon yourself. Don't jinx it.
Ellie calls herself the greatest drinker, so
Yeah, she's not wrong. I've been having fun with my shrink plastic and my resin. I even made a new one last night. It didn't come out the way I wanted it to, but it's trial and error. You know, if it's not completely flat when the shrink plastic comes out the oven, you have to give it a little press with something flat. But as I found out last night, if you press too hard, it distorts the plastic because it's still warm. So I've got to try and remember not to press on it too hard when it comes out the oven. But it looked awesome.
it's been quite good things so far.
Yep. But then the one I did 2 yesterday. I tried the unicorn again, but I was doing a different background, the rainbow unicorn. Anyway, you're supposed to cut out your design if you want it a specific shape, unless you don't and you want it like as a tile. I forgot to cut it out, and it was only when I pulled it out, when I pulled it out the oven, I realised I hadn't cut it out, and now I'm left with this unicorn tile thing, which wasn't what I wanted. Oh, come on. Let's go that way. First knot. There we go. Usually there isn't a knot I can't undo, but I think I've only ever come across 2 occasions in my whole stitching life that I haven't been able to undo them. And oh, it drove me nuts. Riley's just letting me know, Mum, it's 4 o'clock, you need to get the tea in the oven. I do. The kids have got chicken steaks for tea. I say the kids because I'm not a fan. I have got a minced beef and onion Fray Bentos pie. I don't like normal pies. The pastry's just like dry and... Ugh. But a Fray Bentos, nothing dry. And my mum used to eat them when I was a kid, and I just look back and think, I should have tried it then. But I was one of these kids that didn't like to try anything, and my dad used to say, don't sniff it first because it never smells how it tastes. And then my mum used to say the worst tasting things in life are the best things for you. She used to say that when she was giving us medicine, especially if it was a nasty one. I'm not sure.
I know Tyler.
You've had that many bouts of medication and stuff, I don't know. But anyway, I hate sitting at the table stitching because my right hand, my fingers start tingling after a while. It's like I'm holding my hands above my heart and the blood's not getting to them. So I have to drop my hand every so often to my side just to let the blood run back through. Anyway, I am going to go and have to get tea on. So, thank you so much for joining me this week, guys. I've just stabbed myself. I would appreciate so much if you could give this video a like, if you've managed to watch it all the way through. And again, thank you for watching. All that's left to say is take care, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.